Everybody, it's your boy Andrew L. Case, and you are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is May 22nd, 2023. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Jude A. Jackson and Kevin A. Lewis. Jeff, what's going on? Say what's up to the people.
What's going on?
Smooth as ice, baby. Smooth as ice. Jude, what's going on with you, Jude?
Wow, Kev. That's the voice. Wow, Kev. But yeah, I'm doing well. I cannot complain. I cannot complain at all. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Case?
I'm good. Weekend was pretty boring. Hopefully that you gentlemen had a great weekend. So some photos, Jude. Did you go out this weekend and take some photos?
Oh, yeah. I went out to Jersey City. Well, I live in Jersey City, but I went downtown and everything. I was going to go to the pier just to read a book, but I was like, oh, there's a Holly festival. So I took some pictures and everything. I was like, oh, these are really good shots. Posted them on Instagram, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty enjoyable to watch. It was a good celebration. Then I went to read my book. It was It by Stephen King. You know, with the clown.
The most interesting man ever, Kev. Yeah, because the puzzle looked in your face like.
Yeah, so I like to go out to the pier, like waterfronts, like piers or like parks or whatnot. Just sit down and read. It's very relaxing. It's a very relaxing experience.
I don't want to disrespect the art of reading. Let me make myself clear here before I start. Who goes out to the pier to read though? Like you.
The most interesting man on this show, Jude A. Jackson. What do you mean?
Going to the water,
you got
like
plenty of time in the crib to read. Why would you go outside to read?
But you're outside. It's nice outside. Everyone's
to not read. Yeah,
you get the sun on your face, and you're just like, wow, this is great. It's quiet. You see just like the water and everything. It's very relaxed. Like reading by any waterfront, it's extremely relaxing. It's just nice. It's just peaceful.
I gotta co-sign that.
Let that man live. Let that man live. Let that man live. And of course, we have a very special guest tonight. We got K Vega in the building. For those who don't know who K Vega is, I'm gonna allow K to introduce herself. K, how you doing this evening? How was your weekend?
Also boring. I don't like going outside unless I have to. I'm trying to get over that though. I am.
It's a part of adulting. I think most of our fun stuff already went out the window already. So the adulting part is.
My house is really comfortable, and I've spent a lot of money on it. And outside is expensive, I would rather be here.
It costs money to breathe. Seriously.
I don't know. There's food. There's drinks. There's bad space. Do I really go outside?
At least reading is free.
At least reading by the pier. Reading by the water.
Okay, so I have to co-sign. I used to live in Miami, and I would go to the beach literally just to lay out and read because,
you see the water.
That glare on your screen, like, go outside, touch grass.
hey, touch grass. Okay, tell the people which school you attended because we gotta get into because this is how it happened. Hold on, before we jump into why K's on the show, I am always open invite to whoever wants to come on Middle Initial Podcast. No matter if you're a huge sports fan, if you're not a huge sports fan, or whatever. But Kay is a sports fan. She said somebody invited me on to their podcast so I could talk about sports. So I said, "Yo,
man,
jump in the DM. Let's talk." You know what I mean? And I hung out with Kay before. She actually helped at one of our tailgates at the crib event. Shout out to Kay, and Chef Cream, of course. And she's I don't want to give it up.
So
what school? Let me know what school you went to. That's entertainment. We get to the entertainment part.
But I'm a graduate of the Ohio State University.
Ohio State University. Oh wow. The. You remember? You got to say the first. You got to say the first.
It's very important. Okay.
Very important.
You're being facetious, but I'm being serious.
No.
There's a difference. No, seriously, because there's a difference between the state school.
I'm glad you called out that.
Miami of Ohio.
I'm glad you called out.
Right. I wasn't being facetious at all because I was about to ask you what year you graduated, and are you familiar with Michael Holley?
Tell her what college football team you were for.
No. This is peaceful. She knows what team I root for. This is peaceful. Go blue.
So we know it's facetious. Stop bullshitting.
No, it's not. But I just want to know what year she graduated and if she knows Michael Holley, because Michael Holley is former of ESPN. I think he's on NBC now. Every time they spoke to me, he always say the Ohio State. So I was wanting to see if you're familiar with Michael Holley.
That's just something they drill into our head in Columbus. I graduated in 2013.
Okay, so he's definitely old head. So I don't know how important of an alumni he is in comparison to everybody else. Shout out to Michael Holley. Shout out to my homegirl Marsha, who actually went to Ohio State for her doctorate, which is Ohio State. So, and she's actually still in Ohio. So shout out to Ohio State. And no hard feelings with the Buckeyes and stuff like that. No hard feelings. You guys have the better end of the rivalry. You guys are the champions.
I just say, why would there be hard feelings when we're winning? Come on now.
I mean, you didn't win last year, but let's keep it tall. Let's keep this.
The Wolverines won their championship in that game, I guess.
I mean, that's the only championship we've gotten close to since. So I don't want. That's what I said. I can't talk too much.
Do you really want to talk about it? Because we can talk about it.
No. We can talk about it.
I don't have a white flag, but I come in peace. But yes, now, so for those who are interested to know, who don't follow K Vega, yes, explain to the people what you do.
So I'm an entertainer. I work in nightlife. I bartend. I dance. I host events, model, all of that fun stuff. But what a lot of people don't know about me is I actually have my bachelor's of science in sports industries. So that's why I wanted to come on the show and talk to somebody about sports, because it's usually bartending tabs and pole work. Like, I'm trying to talk about, D up and how to win a championship.
Right, exactly. And also, since we're here, a part of why you're here. So I speaking to Cass, said, hey, check out the episodes, but check out not the last one because I wasn't on it. Check out the episode with all of us on it so you get a feel of the chemistry. And she happened to stumble on the episode where we were talking about the WNBA, and we actually not WNBA, we talked about the NCAA tournament, the women's tournament specifically, and we were talking about the whole taunting thing. And somebody on this panel got her really upset.
Oh my gosh.
And she has spoke for all of us, and I had to explain, no. There's just one person on this show who hates celebration. Jude. Kay's here, and she has some things to say to you. But I want to see how you worm your way out of this one. So, Kay, tell
my connection's just gonna drop.
ISO.
Right. I'm past you the ball, Kay. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, so since listening to the episode, I have since kind of calmed down, some major things that happened since then to distract me. But what I will say is you can't expect for the WNBA as an organization to grow without some type of plot and drama, right? So why are you going to take away from the girls what you've been giving to the boys since day one? Let's be honest, right? Because let's talk about, if we're going to talk about basketball, let's really talk about basketball, right? Okay. Naismith came up with the sport. Why? Because white boys were getting their ass whooped in football. They were getting hurt. They were getting laid out. They needed a less physical sport so that there could be a gentlemanly sport, right? That's why basketball even exists. That's why the basket's up above your head, because you're allegedly not supposed to be able to be as physical. We see how the NBA is today. That's no longer a factor.
Yeah. Dropping them
with that being said,
science on you.
Right. So, with that being said, why do you think the NBA is the NBA? Right? And even the NBA had to go through its growing phases, right? The game of basketball now isn't what it was before. So why would you expect this perfect product from, mind you, 20-something year old?
Yes.
21, 29? Isn't she a freshman, sophomore? You know what I mean? Year-old person. Why do you expect all of this couth and
Oh goodness.
Professionalism.
Yes. Decorum. Go ahead, Jude. Speak on it.
Yeah. Speak on it.
Because not only the beauty of this though, okay, it's not like it's one-sided though. I'll give Jude credit. His bullshit is on both sides because it's for the men and it's also for the women. So he's an equal opportunist when it comes to his
equal opportunity hater. Okay.
Yes, yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I just
nobody hates fun quite like Jude, buddy.
I just specifically wanted Jude to address the hate for the women because it hit a nerve with Kay in a different regard because there is a kind of catch-22, quote unquote, when the WNBA players with NCAA women are aggressive, are talking shit. You know what I mean? Some people are liked more than others talking shit, like Sue Bird. She got away, she was allowed to, do a little more. And what's the other one? Forgot her name.
Taurasi?
Diana Taurasi. Yeah, there's some people who got away with a little bit more than others. And the fact that this happened in the NCAA tournament, and it was, we're going to invite them to Iowa to the White House anyway. Jill Biden on national participation trophy bullshit. I just wanted to hear Jude his retort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing was, I think my issue at the time was more. I guess it's okay to taunt someone that you're winning a game, whatever. Only after you're winning, taunt someone while you're winning or whatnot, but don't go too overboard in it. Like if it's excessive,
here we
just
go.
Be like,
fucking.
Just be like.
My point is who, as spectators, who are we to dictate what is excessive and what is?
I mean, that's a great point.
Because what people don't realize and what people don't understand is while certain pundits, etc., were talking about ruining the integrity of the sport and quality and content of your character, these two young ladies already have beef.
True. True. Very true.
This isn't new.
Very true.
This isn't new.
Very true.
I'm not picking on this little white girl. No. We've been going at it.
True.
And as far as the league is so friendly, she was taunting them over the all-black defending national championship female team. Mm-hmm. And she made every point when she said, did the people that they beat get invited to?
Good point.
Because when they beat a black team, that black team wasn't invited to get their fucking participation award at the White House.
I hated that too. I definitely hated that part. I hated that part. That was lame. I believe that's lame. Like that
let her cook your ass. Cook him.
But cook me on the right things. I think that stuff's lame.
This is different house, same block.
Right? So no,
cook his ass.
I appreciate it. Call him out on the shit. Call him out on all of the shit. Why? Because it adds drama. For as much as people were talking shit about Dylan, for as much as people have been talking shit about old boy and Jimmy Butler having beef, like, what the hell else are they going to talk about in these day and a halves in between games if they don't give us anything to talk about?
Well, that is true. If they just shook
hands, to be a villain. Otherwise, what is this?
Right. Well, I don't know why Grant Williams is being a villain, though. This isn't last year against the Bucks, so I don't know why he in particular.
Because somebody has to. Somebody has to.
The thing is with Grant Williams, like, okay, he shouldn't have poked the bear. By the way, I need to mute that on Twitter. Poke the bear. I just need to mute the whole term. I'm tired of reading about poking the fucking bear. Grant Williams just made a big three to put his team up 9 with 6 minutes left in an Eastern Conference Finals game. Look, I'm not a professional basketball player, obviously. I'm just sitting on my desk chair. It's easy for me to talk my shit. Personally, just a general rule. I don't like to talk shit to niggas who I think are a little bit off in the head. This goes for everything. Basketball, away from the court, the streets. If you're a little bit off, I don't really want to talk shit to you. That's just not my lane.
Mhm.
I think Jimmy Butler, competitively speaking, is a little bit off in the head. So I wouldn't be the one to talk shit to him. I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody else in the Eastern Conference Finals game, especially when in the fourth quarter, I want to say Grant Williams scored their last 3 field goals. So he was not why they lost. Like, yeah, he poked the bear. Him poking the bear wasn't why Jason Tatum was dribbling the ball off his foot for the last 3 minutes. Wasn't why Jaylen Brown was nowhere to be found for the last 3 minutes. Wasn't why they lost by 87 points yesterday either. Like, he was the only one who showed up in the fourth quarter. He talked shit. Maybe he talked shit to the wrong person. I don't fucking know. That ain't the reason that they fucking lost. And that's not the reason. The same issue that were plaguing them when Brad Stevens was the coach and when Ime Udoka was the coach are still plaguing them now. They seem to have a flawed core of players, and those flaws show themselves at the wrong times all the time. And people always claim, I like when players hate each other. I don't like this buddy. I don't like AAU. Then Grant Williams talk shit. Why are you talking shit? Because you don't like it, bro. You don't like buddy. He ain't trying to be buddy. He got in that man's face and was talking shit.
There's nothing wrong with some buddy stuff in the NBA. I think that's a bit of overreaction. I just think
I agree.
You have to be a certain. I mean, Grant Williams at least had a big game in his playoff career sometime in his career. Dillon Brooks has not had a big game in his playoff career ever. I don't know why he.
The thing is for Dillon Brooks, like him talking the shit in the first place is okay, bro. That's just kind of how he gets down. You talk your shit. You punch LeBron in the dick. You get ejected. Your team gets their ass whooped. And then now you don't want to talk anymore. And then now it's, the media made me. No, my brother. No, you can't do that. At least Grant Williams at the game was like, yeah, I was talking my shit. So, like, it's a competitive game. It's a heated game.
You know what?
I'm going to talk my shit.
I feel like
so
that's
what?
a reflection of just
how society is.
Everybody being soft in the first place. You want to know why you fight with your hands instead of guns, so you can live to fight another day. Sometimes you get your ass beat, bro. Get up.
Wow. Okay.
Like, get up. Rub some dirt in it. Like, you crying like a little bitch right now. My God.
Wow.
I don't know.
Right. Like, talking shit gets people all up in arms.
Dillon Brooks, for as much as you may dislike Dillon Brooks, and let's be honest, we all don't dislike him at varying levels.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's still an NBA athlete, so it's not like he's completely booty. I think he might have a couple of points on some of us out here. You feel me? I'm not saying there's no better talent than him out in Dykeman or nothing. I'm just saying that you know what I mean? Like, against the average American, he probably has a pretty
he dropped 60. He dropped 60. He's not. Dillon Brooks is no question.
Why make everybody question their existence?
Right. On this show, I think we're at least for the most of us. I think we're not delusional enough to sit there and want to challenge even the worst NBA player. But no, I mean, back to the original point though. It was. I wanted to give Kay a chance to. Give Jude his smoke and put him on the box.
I ain't like that.
Because of course, Jude did a lot of backpedaling like he used to. I didn't want to bury the lead when it comes to.
Man's the Darrell Reeves of backpedaling.
The more that NCAA female sports expand, the more women's leagues are going to expand, and
I'm going to invite Kay back. To with actually I'm gonna say something up. I need to invite you back so we can talk about the WNBA stuff and
the number one recruit from 2021 just got cut from the league. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. We had a little side conversation that we were talking about via DM, and it's a lot to talk about the cover of the WNBA. But
I do want to add one more thing before we move on. With celebrations, it doesn't matter how good you are. Kev knows very well. I criticized Aaron Rodgers. I criticized Odell Beckham Jr. because they go very far. Just do your thing, be happy you scored, and then just go right back to the bench. That's it. I just had to get that across.
You had to get that point across for the 50th time that you're a fucking
Jude's been saying Aaron Rodgers goes over the top because he does a fucking goofy belt celebration for 6 years. He was like, go far with what? He gives you a sign, he hands the ball to the ref, he goes back to the sideline. What is going far here?
And now he's a starting quarterback for your favorite team, so hush, please.
Thank God, because ain't Zach Wilson no more.
Right. Man, we buried a few leads in the beginning of the show, but something that came as I guess you would say not quite as a surprise as this news. Carmelo Anthony has called it a career. Carmelo Anthony has officially retired from the NBA today, May 22nd, 2023. He did it. I love the way that he did it, though. He passed the torch to his son. What's his name? Keon, something like that. Yeah. But he passed. The way he did it as a passing of the torch, I love. Because not every NBA player has an opportunity. Like LeBron James is going to have the opportunity, of course, with Bronny and then his younger son Bryce. A lot of some NBA players don't get a chance to leave and have a prospect or a possible, NBA future prospect in the wing, and he does. I don't know where he ranks in high school, but I've heard nothing but good things about him outside of that. But let's talk about Carmelo Anthony, and I'll let Kev start because I know Kev's going to splash in some negativity. And so, Kev,
I thrive on negativity. I'm going to keep it under control for today. I'm gonna let the marshmallows have their day because y'all. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all day. That's the mellow stand, the marshmallows. They give themselves that name. I'm just calling them what they call themselves.
I've never called a marshmallow.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. They, not you, not anybody on the bike. They, y'all, they, them. No, but jokes aside. Listen, I have no problem with Carmelo Anthony himself. His cult, them separate topic. I don't like them. They just the amount of lies, the amount of overrating, the excuses. I don't got time for that. The player, really good player. What were you ever gonna win anything because you had Carmelo Anthony on your team? No. Was he gonna help you win? Sure, he wasn't the guy where you're just like, you know what? We have Carmelo Anthony. We are title contenders because we have Carmelo Anthony. As long as we put sensible pieces around him. He wasn't that guy. And that's fine. Not everybody is meant to be that guy. Now, to get the negativity out the way. The positivity. Really good guy behind the scenes. Like everybody who's ever come across Melo or met Melo in any capacity swears by the guy. His teammates swear by the guy. Never heard a bad word about the guy outside of his infidelity, but that's not basketball related, so who cares? On the court, I will say this: the positivity. I've never seen a 6'8" dude with a quicker release on his jump shot than Carmelo Anthony. It's absurd, and he would do that. He would bully people in the post. He did whatever you wanted to do offensively to score a basket. Carmelo Anthony could give you what he could do. He was a top tier scorer. And this talk about to kind of mix the topics. So this talk about should you retire his jersey? I'm talking about the Knicks side. We'll talk about the Nuggets side in a bit. The way I look at it and this is kind of going back into celebration. I feel personally we should celebrate more shit. Celebrate waking up in the fucking morning. Celebrate your coffee being hot. Celebrate whatever the fuck you want to celebrate. Celebrate everything. If the Knicks feel like Carmelo Anthony is worth having his jersey retired, retire his fucking jersey. Who gives a fuck? Who am I to tell the Knicks organization what Carmelo Anthony should mean to them? Did he accomplish a whole lot from a team winning perspective? No. If you want to retire his jersey because he's from Brooklyn, retire his fucking jersey. Get the day together, block off the calendar, play his highlights, play all the New York songs you want while you're out there and celebrate him and cheer and blah, 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 blah. Celebrate the guy. Retire his jersey. It hurts nobody. The Memphis Grizzlies retired Tony Allen's jersey. I don't hear nobody talking about that shit. They had this topic not too long ago where they're like, oh, should the Cavaliers retire Tristan Thompson's jersey? Not to veer too far off topic. I'm just like, listen, they won one championship in 50 fucking years, and he was a starting player on that team. Yes, they should retire his jersey. Why not? Retire all their jerseys at the same time. LeBron, Kyrie, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith.
No one can have those numbers ever again.
They won one championship in 50 years, and it's one of the most significant championships in NBA history. Retire all their fucking jerseys. Who gives a shit? It's the Cavaliers. They don't have a whole lot of history, similar to the Knicks. They want to retire. Melo had a whole bunch of good years. He finished. He caught a second place MVP vote, won a scoring title. Was there a lot of team success? No. Was that all his fault? Hell fucking no. Retire jersey. Who cares? Put the jersey in the rafters. What do you have to lose? Who are you making upset? Who's upset that 7 it would be in the rafters? What, John Starks? Who? Because his number ain't in the rafters?
I mean,
who?
Well, I don't know, because Knicks fans are funny, and NBA is funny and fickle. But I'm gonna let Kay go and speak on Melo and then Jude. What are your thoughts on Carmelo Anthony's career, Kay?
Carmelo Anthony has the prettiest shot I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, watching him on TV does not do him justice. If you've never seen him play live, I pity you as a fan of the sport. You missed out. You missed out. So, yeah, sucks to suck.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry, he's like, I didn't miss out. You missed out. That sucks. I don't know if it does.
Yeah, tell him.
It hurts, man, because I feel like it was bullshit. I feel like it's bullshit that he was even out of the league this last season altogether. Like, they tried to do some little redeem team, old head, Lakers link up, like, Wonder Twins unite with all the fucking it didn't work. And that's fine that it didn't work, but Melo didn't have to be blackballed because of it. Like, and I still don't understand how or why that happened. So that annoys me and frustrates me because he should have been playing somewhere this season, even if it was,
It could have been Atlanta. I don't. They made a tweet out with his jersey on it. Could have been Atlanta.
Like,
could have been the Knicks. Needed a shooter.
I don't know. I don't think that he was a good fit with Harden in Houston. I will admit that. But other than that, like, I just don't know, like, why he wasn't with the team to begin with. So to see him go without his farewell tour hurts. That hurts. Because, like, there are certain players that, like I said, you grow up watching a sport, playing a sport, and you want to at least experience one game or to be able to say that, like, you saw it, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are going to miss out on that. And more than would have normally because of the bubble, COVID, et cetera. Like, so it's just like, damn. Hate to see it. Yeah. And you hate to see it in a year that the Nuggets might win a championship and the nigga that they traded for you is going off.
And
damn, like, Murray's going off.
Yeah. Also on top of that, somebody tweeted out about Carmelo, and I was surprised it was George Karl. I was like, George Karl. I'm like, whoa, you shouldn't have anything to say about Carmelo. Because
wait, George Karl tweeted about Carmelo?
Yes, he tweeted.
What did he say today?
I don't know, and I didn't want to verbatim. I'm gonna pull it up. But he said something. People were like, "Whoa, you!"
Oh, it was actually positive.
Yes, it wasn't anything negative about Melo. He said, "Okay, congratulations, Carmelo Anthony, top 10 scorer in hoops history, top 10 Denver Nugget, 3-time gold medal Olympian, legendary Sixers orangeman, hell of a career." Then he retweeted probably top 5 Nugget along with Jokic, Alex, Issel, Bobby, and DT. I'll let the stands, fans, trolls, and critics debate that. I think people were trolling him once he congratulated him. And then on top of that, when SportsCenter tweeted out about retiring his number and Jokic's, he said, "Clickbait, come on, the answer is both, and the team will figure out a way." So it's funny for George Karl to be all of a sudden Team Melo. When he left, he had a lot of negative things. And George Karl has been saying a lot of negative things in general, but he had a lot of negative things to say about Carmelo Anthony. So it was very interesting to even see George Karl say something positive.
Listen, I make fun of Drew for hating everything.
George Karl,
but that's partially jokes. No, George Karl for real hates everything. Like he hates all his players, dog. He hates all of them, motherfuckers.
Right.
Like he was just clapping at J.R. Smith this week.
Yeah.
Or last week. Last week.
He hates everything. So for him to even come out and tweet something like, positive, I guess. whatever. Jude, what are your thoughts on Carmelo Anthony's career and his retirement?
Well, I mean, I unfortunately didn't really get to watch a whole bunch of Carmelo Anthony, so I'm one of those people who sucks to suck. But from what I did watch with him, I mean, he was a fun player to watch. I think he was on the Lakers in the bubble. Was he on the Lakers during the bubble?
After the bubble.
After the bubble.
He was on the Blazers
after the bubble.
If he was on the bubble, he'd have a ring.
Oh, okay, that is true. That's true. You're right. But I will say, I mean, he was a good player. I mean, he dropped 61 time in Madison Square Garden. That's always something. A couple of funny things I remember Carmelo Anthony off the court. It was 2013 when I first got onto Twitter. I remember some dude was criticizing Carmelo Anthony for some reason, and then he was like, "Why the fuck are you talking, you glazed donut-faced ass?" And that's probably the most similar thing I remember about. That's probably the thing I remember the most about him, to be honest, is that insult.
Melo got so many off the court hits, man. So fucking many. Like when he pulled up to the fucking bodega with the Olympic robe and hat. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Melo got so many off the court hits, man.
So that was a memorable hit from Carmelo Anthony. And then I saw them, I think, comparing Jokic and Carmelo. There was a tweet from someone, I forgot who. They were comparing Jokic and Carmelo's impact to the Nuggets, and I felt like that's really asking a lot right now. I mean, one guy is a 2-time MVP, and the other guy is just a very great player, probably in the Hall of Fame. But it's like, come on,
definitely a Hall of Fame. I don't know probably.
I mean, Jokic is a better hooper. Number one, number two, we don't have to compare them. Number three, as far as retiring both their jerseys, just retire both their jerseys and retire the same day. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Just retire both of them. 15's not going to be worn again. Doesn't matter if one guy hasn't retired or two. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be worn again.
Nah, I agree. Listen, I don't even know why people are really tripping about it. We all know this is a business play at the end of the day. Jokic is going to change his number. Everyone that has a Jokic jersey is going to have to buy another one.
Wow.
That would be funny if they did.
You're about to go up in price. Like all the rest of the 15 jerseys are going to have Melo's name on the back of it. And now everybody's gonna have to have 2-3 jerseys. Like that's really gonna happen. I don't know why people are acting like this is a sentimental decision.
If he does, we gotta have you back on. Like that day or week or whatever. We gotta have if that legitimately does happen, like we gotta have her back on. Just do a victory lap. Like I won't even talk. Just mute my mic. Just have your victory lap for however long you want it.
Bron did it.
He did.
Bron did.
He did.
He sure did. You're right.
He did.
Sure fucking did.
Kobe did.
Kobe did, yeah.
Kobe did.
Yeah, and the Lakers definitely retired both.
Sure did.
Retired both of them.
All facts.
Dual retirements.
All
yeah.
Facts.
My thoughts on Carmelo Anthony are simply this: Carmelo Anthony has had a bad rap since he started in the league, and I'll explain why. Carmelo Anthony should have been Rookie of the Year the year he played, and I felt, and this is not a slight to LeBron. Carmelo Anthony had all the hype leaving Syracuse as the national champion. He comes to the league, he averages 21, and his team goes to the playoffs. Why is he not Rookie of the Year? It was as simple as that. We know what LeBron was going to be, but the narrative has to stay the same. So LeBron's the chosen one. LeBron gets it, even though his team finished under 500, even though comparable stats, I mean, he had more assists, but, rebounds were closer. But if we were just saying, who had a bigger impact than rookie season, it was Carmelo Anthony, who started all 82 games at 19 years old, averaging 21 and 6 for a playoff team. He should have been Rookie of the Year. That doesn't happen, right? To Kay's point about him being blackballed from the league, what did Carmelo Anthony do for him not to play? Well, if you're asking Kev might say he maybe not been in basketball shape, or does his style of basketball doesn't work anymore. There's a lot of guys who aren't in shape. There's a lot of guys whose basketball style doesn't work anymore, and they're still in the fucking league. I don't know what Melo did, who he pissed off or whatever, but for whatever reason, that stint in Houston was the beginning of the end. Somebody had posted that I think it was the game 6 against Indiana where he had 20 and the rest of them had 27. And he was I think 8 or 16 shooting. Carmelo Anthony did everything possible to be successful in New York, and they gave him a bunch of octogenarians, and and a basket case as an all-star. Yeah, come on, man. It was a bunch of old dudes, and whatever was left of Amari Stoudemire, right? And then as soon as when he got hurt and Jeremy Lin was here, it was like, oh, Jeremy Lin's the guy instead of third. Carmelo Anthony has been disrespected on multiple levels for playing with pretty much not the same caliber or quality of team. I think the worst thing Melo did was sign the extra year for that contract and force the trade to New York. That's probably the worst thing he did. But other than that, if you want to say the sucker punch in the Garden when he played for Denver and he punched homie in the face, I was mad at him for that. But that was before he became a Knick. He became a Knick. Who did he punch?
He did it on hallowed grounds.
Who do you punch? What's his name? Right now, off the top of your head. Okay, I don't. That's the thing. Who the fuck is Marty Collins? Nobody.
And then he backpedaled primed the away from Nate Robinson. From Nate Robinson. 5'6". So. Right.
I was pissed. Don't get me wrong. But who the fuck is Marty Collins? Nobody. Another corpse.
That makes the sucker punch better?
Listen, another corpse that the Knicks dragged out and made us care about in an under 500 season. There's a bunch of names that the Knicks made us care about that weren't Carmelo Anthony. A ton of names.
Hey, man.
You want to go down the list?
You want
Landry Fields?
No, hell no. I have zero.
I can go down here. Right, okay.
You want to dismiss that because he punched the guy you don't care about?
No, I don't want to dismiss. I'm just saying, that's the time. If we want to point out the lowlights of Melo's career, just the lowlights, and say things he could have possibly done to offend. If you want to say that, well, he ended up being on the Knicks anyway.
He should have punched Kevin Garnett in the face. That's all. That's my only.
That's
and then I gotta go. Well, he tried to meet him after the game.
Yeah, he should have swung
the whole fourth quarter. They were playing the whole fourth. Whoever the coach was it Woodson? Mike Woodson.
Yes, Mike Woodson.
The whole quarter. And Melo was too busy shooting the Knicks out of the game instead of shooting the fair one with Kevin Garnett. He should have punched him in his face.
He got his revenge in the playoffs, and he got
it's regular season basketball. Who cares?
He got his revenge in the playoffs, and he got the Celtics out of there. The point is, Melo brought excitement back to New York basketball for at least 6 years. You had to feel like I think he went to the playoffs the first 3 seasons as a Knick, and then the last 3 didn't end as well as we wanted it to. But it was bittersweet to see him come and play and go. You know what I mean? We won 57 games. We matched up against I wouldn't say a better Pacers team because after that playoff they kind of booked it against Miami and then they kind of broke apart after that. Everybody started falling apart.
I mean, they made the Eastern Conference Finals the next 2 years.
Right. And against Miami, yeah. And Melo, for me, Melo is one of those guys who's going to be remembered, of course, for not winning a ring because he was drafted in the same year as LeBron year. And LeBron, did a lot. I mean, LeBron's the greatest player of his generation as we speak. On his way out, we're going to talk about that later. But this is a guy who went to 10 NBA finals. This guy who won 4 rings. This guy who had assembled the greatest teams in modern history. And we watched him play. Melo had one okay team in the East that a lot of people had confidence in. If we beat the Pacers, we probably could have matched up well against that Heat team in the finals. No, stop. That's what people felt. Am I saying?
I don't give a fuck what they feel. People feel all kinds of stupid shit. Stop. No.
I told Kev I was going to mute his mic. I knew he was going to do this. He's going to hate. Stop. No, I'm going to mute you again. He's going to hate. You're not going to hate on Carmelo, Cam, Anthony. You're not going to do that. Not on this day. Hate tomorrow. Not today. Save it. I knew he was going to do that. He's a hater. But as far as it's concerned, he had a solid career. It could have been better. But guys, he's not LeBron. And I think that's another thing too. A lot of people wanted him to, he doesn't pass the ball. Who gives a fuck who he's playing with? Are you going to pass the ball to the people he was playing with? You know what I mean? He played with Billups. He was good with Billups. He played with Iverson. He was good with Iverson. He played with everybody. That's it. Who else? Amari, who was part-time at that time. Who else did he play with?
Passing is part of the job description. What the fuck are you talking about?
Again, I'm muting Kev because Kev is a hater. He does not like Melo. Don't let him fool you with his kind words today because it's coming out. You see it leaking out right now. He's a hater. He's a bitter Melo hater. And I told him I was going to mute him. I pre-warned him. I pre-muted him, in fact. I told him it was going to happen. But they wanted him to do a lot that's not his game. And there's a lot of guys whose game is just to score the fucking basket. And he's the 9th all-time in scoring. He'll probably drop out of the top 10 within the next few years, but all the other guys coming behind him. But Melo had a great career. And also, he was consistent. He was very consistent. He averaged 24 and 6 with the Nuggets. He averaged 24 and 7 with the Knicks. in his following stints, 14-4, 14-6, 14-4, 14-5. Melo was going to give you production. Could the Knicks have used 14-5 off the bench this year? Yes. Could the Knicks have used 37% from 3, 37, 35? Yes.
Wow.
Memphis, somebody could have used it for some reason.
Could have used it too.
Somebody could have used even the Lakers could have used him against. Hey, you know what, Melo? We just need you to shoot some threes. We just need you to make some 3-pointers. You don't need to shoot some threes. You shoot some threes. Like, you're gonna have a game where you're hot, you make 3 or 4, just shoot some threes. We watched Vince Carter play until he was 45 years old for one dunk a month. Like, come on. He wasn't bringing nothing to the game.
Allen.
The Lakers got the next Larry. The Lakers got the next Larry Bird on their team right now. They got Austin Reeves. He's out there shooting threes. They got Austin Reeves, next Larry Bird.
So that doesn't get muted, but I get muted.
You're not a hater. You're not a hater.
What kind of country is this?
I was being sarcastic.
Goofy shit.
I was being sarcastic. Did you not hear the sarcasm in my voice? I don't think Austin Reeves is next Larry Bird.
Jude, I do not care. I promise.
The point is, Carmelo Anthony had a great career. His service could have been used by any team in the playoffs right now, and it's kind of proof positive the way the playoffs are going. Only 2 teams are showing up for the conference finals. Only 2 teams. Only 2 teams showed up. You mean to tell me the bubble rematch, the real basketball? Remember that? It's real basketball in the bubble, and look at the real teams going back. Well, I think there's only 2 real teams left. The Lakers, I'm not going to down the Lakers, so they're trying their fucking best, at least, in comparison to Boston. At least the Lakers are trying their best, because Boston is not even fucking trying. LeBron is old. He's 30 years old. He had 2 injuries this season. That's it. He had a 30-point closeout. He's averaging 20. He's averaging less than 25 in an entire postseason. LeBron is a season or 2 away from his farewell tour. I think next year is going to be just whatever. They're going to try one more time, and then his son gets drafted, and then he figures out a way to get on his team, and then that's it. It's done. I think it's 2 more seasons at best. I don't know how bad he wants to play with Bronny. Next year should be the farewell tour. It should be the way they're, especially if they get swept. If it's finished, if they get swept, it's done. It should be next season. But I can excuse the Lakers because they're trying. Boston is young. Boston is fucking young. There's nobody over. Like, they're a young team, and they're just getting
it's
dog
Al
walked.
Horford and a bunch of youngins, basically.
Yeah, and they're just getting dog walked by fucking G League, and there's nothing to shit on these guys. I mean, like, but if Max Strauss is giving you the blues and Gabe Vincent is dropping 29 on you, it's a lot to be said about these conference finals. So I'm gonna start with Kay. I know you're a Bron fan, a Bron stan. I don't, or whatever you want to call it. What are your thoughts on the Lakers versus Denver, and how do you feel? Because I saw your face. I don't know if you're too keen, if you agree with me, if they're trying their best. I personally feel the Lakers are trying their damnedest to be in this series. What are your thoughts?
I think the Lakers need to play some fucking defense, and LeBron needs to drive in the fucking paint. That's what I think. Because if that was the case, this would be a very different fucking series. I think you're completely wrong as far as him being done, though. Do I think his years of being the number 1 and 2 player on the team are over? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know what the fake is. Well, I don't know what the fuck is going on with AD. Like, some days it's his team, some days it's not. Some days he shows up to work, some days he doesn't. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's like co-parenting the Lakers with Bron right now.
That's a new one.
AD's a coach.
It's confusing the kids. Okay?
Wow, damn.
With that being said, I don't see why LeBron can't, like I said, go on to be Ray Allen. Ray Allen left the Celtics, went to the Heat, got another 2 rings? Right?
LeBron one. LeBron is, I think his game and who he is won't allow him to.
I saw LeBron literally be a coach on the court. There is no reason why he can't be the number 3 or number 4 guy on the team.
I watched LeBron defer to Austin Reeves.
Going on from the court. He can do that for another 3 to 4 seasons.
He can.
He can do that another 3-4 seasons.
I'm only going to push back because LeBron is this year 21?
20.
Year 20.
This is 20.
I'm only going to push back because the mileage on LeBron's body. I do agree with you. He could. I'm not saying he won't. He could. But my question to you, Kay, is you just mentioned Anthony Davis. Sometimes he's DeAndre Ayton and sometimes he's Shaq. If that's your one or two, you know what I mean? If that's one of the one or two, who else comes to LA to help this team out? And it works in this system. Rob Pelinka got to get somebody. I see you smiling. Don't say it, but I see you smiling. Go ahead.
I'm a Jersey girl. Come on now.
Shoot.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving.
MK. Reunite Cleveland. Let's go, baby. Like I don't.
Wow.
In the basketball sense, and Kyrie being his ultimate best, absolutely, I agree with you. If Kyrie is not going to do Kyrie stuff, and I don't think his aspirations is to win a championship with Bron again, but I do believe he wants to reunite and make it right. I do believe that. But will he take the mantle and say, I'm the best or the second best and work within that system with Darvin Ham? I don't know.
But see, I feel like people haven't been giving... I think Kyrie does a better job of trying to work within systems than people give him credit for.
Okay.
And I think all of Kyrie's problems is just the vibes. Like, not even on court stuff. It's just the vibes. Like, he's a bad vibes guy. And he's been a bad vibes guy at every single fucking stop. Like, every stop, he burns his way up out of there and burns the trail, burns the building, burns the neighborhood, all of it down.
So he was bad vibes at the press conference, the Brooklyn Nets press conference. Like, the man said, we don't need a coach to start. You know, I mean, that's if we're talking about the wrong foot to start on, that's the wrong foot to start on. The Dallas stuff, I mean, you know, that's just a funny thing. I think Dallas was just saying, hey, we want this protected pick. We see how that went. It didn't go well for them. But I agree.
I don't blame Boston on him.
Yeah, I agree. The Boston thing, that's just Boston. Fuck Boston. I
don't blame Boston on him. Yeah, I don't even blame wanting to leave Cleveland on him either. Like,
he took the blame for that, though. He did take the blame.
He absolutely did. And he owned up for it afterwards and apologized later on. So,
and that was immaturity.
How are we really talking about bad vibesy? Because I'm sorry, you're not putting the Brooklyn Nets on fucking Kyrie. I'm not fucking.
Why wouldn't we?
I'm not fucking allowing it, bro. No. I don't give a fuck what the basketball politics were. At the end of the day, the NBA rules and the state rules were not the same. And you're holding me to a different standard than you're holding everybody else. I did not agree to this. This is not in my contract. And you do not have fucking say over my body. Just because you can decide where I live does not mean you get to decide what I do with my body. The draft is close enough to slavery that once people actually sign contracts, I'm not jacking it. I'm sorry. I
can give you the autonomy over self when it came to the rules, because it was definitely a ton of gray areas that didn't make sense with the COVID travel rules in the NBA. However, if there was anybody who was going to buck and buck hard, it is Kyrie. And that's the thing. It's not the fact that he bucked. It's just the fact that if there was anyone to buck, if you look at the entire NBA, it's going to be Kyrie.
And the only thing I have to say to that is the same thing I have to say with there being a double standard with the women celebrating. And?
I mean, with Kyrie... with Kyrie,
that, we're not supposed to be who we are in our professions. No,
we are, but we also we are. But the thing is, the problem. No, listen.
You guys, listen. I'm from Jersey. I went to high school in Jersey. I've grown up in Jersey. I've dealt with Jersey niggas. Kyrie is a very Jersey nigga.
Yeah.
but listen,
y'all never been in that situation. I've been in that situation, so I know.
Respect to the situation, because the COVID stuff was a very sensitive situation. But before the COVID stuff, the men said, we don't need a coach. And then it's like, all right, after the COVID situation, there's still tension. Now, I'll give him this credit. Joe Tsai said some dumb shit the other day talking about, managing NBA players. So Joe Tsai is a fucking Alibaba.com dude. He has no business being anywhere near basketball relations in fucking NBA. GM, owner, whatever the case. He has no business. Like, he's fucking Alibaba.com CEO, whatever the fuck he is. He has no business being there. And him saying that is actually saying, I fucked up. I wanted some shiny toys, and, I hired the GM, and they brought me my toys, and my toys didn't want to play. That's pretty much what that became to be. But I feel like with Kyrie, it's going to be something, whether it be something major where we have to really have a debate and conscious discussion over, or something minuscule as far as like, I feel like players should deserve PTO and I'm going to go party with my sister. That's a total different thing, because where he's correct, it is a job. And in jobs, you have PTO, but this is NBA. This is not the same demand. And if we start traveling to certain realms and gray areas and spaces, NBA might as well just be like 10 games a year and it's automatic playoffs for everyody, because it's not going to be anything fun if we start getting into the the HR area of of the league.
I mean, with Kyrie and everything, I will say, I think with the whole Brooklyn situation in particular, it wasn't just him. He was just, in my opinion, the biggest part. And I mean, James Harden was acting weird. KD was just vibing and playing basketball. Kyrie
James
was doing
Harden has to play basketball with them two weirdos every fucking day. I don't blame him.
And then Kyrie,
James Harden came to New York, found out that the bartenders are in between him and the strippers, and was just like, "I'm getting the fuck out."
Wow.
What is this? What is this?
It's like, wait a minute, is a Barrett?
I didn't sign up for this.
Is this a force field? What is this?
It's funny because he wants to go back to Houston too. So.
Yes,
I bet he does.
He misses it. He's like, I'm out.
LeBron has 21 first quarter points, by the way.
He's not going out with a fight. I should have bet him to go 40. He's not going on without a fight.
I will say with Kyrie, I mean, he did a whole bunch of weird stuff. It wasn't just the COVID stuff. It was the stuff like last year as well, he was saying and everything. So I think that was part of the reason why they were like, yeah, we're just tired of him. I think it was just like a culmination of all those things where they were just like, we're just tired of him. We're tired of KD. We're tired of James Harden. All we can go.
But they catered to him, though. That's the thing. The Nets, I said, that's why I like Joe Tsai didn't know.
Catered is putting it real light.
Right.
This is my thing, right? And this is where, and I'm interested to find out when the NBA and when the people who are in these positions of power within the NBA are finally going to learn this lesson, right? Gray areas don't work. They don't work. Gray areas with COVID restrictions don't fucking work. Gray areas with gun visibility don't fucking work.
I get it. It could have been black and white.
If you have designated rules, if you have black and whites, if you have tier 1, 2, 3, then you can sign off on it or not.
But
then you lose the face of the NBA, and Ja is this and that and Kyrie is that, and guess what? There will be another.
The gray area is that those guys are good at basketball. If it was
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's not gray, because guess what? There is another great person at basketball.
Right.
And if you don't want to sign up to the terms and conditions, guess what? You have the autonomy not to do so.
I don't disagree with you.
And owners start acting like they own people, that people start fighting back and it becomes confusing. No.
But I think also the problem is, Kay, the good soldiers that sign off on the agreements, like Chris Paul being head of the president of NBA PA and stuff like that. Like there's certain guys, even NFL, there's guys who are just going to sign off. They're on side with the ownership. As a former union rep who sat down in meetings with top dogs before, I sat down and next to other reps ready to fight. And the rep's like, yo, come on, Case. We got some perks. You know what I mean? Let them get this, and on the back end we get that. And I think that's what it is. You have guys like, all right, the NBA was when the whole the strike stuff was going to happen. They had to sit down like, are we going to strike? And they were like, yeah, we could, but we're missing out some game checks, so we're not going to strike. Or LeBron saying, well, there's some guys who will live in check to check, which is fucking incredible to think about. Like when the strike short season, we need to start this league because people are broke. It's like, damn, there are some people who are willing to push the narrative forward and keep the gray areas abound because they want to keep things going. It's hard to stand on your own 10 toes down and be a Kyrie and fight for certain things when no one is backing you. And if they're backing you, they're either backing you silently or they may tweet about it, but they're not in the meetings fighting with you. So yes, I agree. There's going to be more and more gray areas as they go forward until they make everything black and white. And not to go off on the tangent, because we are some of the conference finals and a fit for the Lakers. Like I said, basketball sense, I feel like Kyrie would fit basketball sense, but also I feel like he brings unless it's black and white. To go back to your point, unless it's black and white, what his standard is going to be with the Lakers. Hey, if the Lakers sign him for a part-time home player, do that. Yo, we need you for 41 games at home. We don't need you on the road. 41 games part-time. If he, that would be an unprecedented contract. Like, yo, sign me for 41 home games. I'm committed to all the playoff games. If he could work that out, that might set a whole entire precedent for the league, because if the regular season doesn't matter as much as it doesn't matter to a lot of these players, aka Jimmy Butler,
then there ain't no chance in hell any owner is signing any player to no part-time deal. They would rather die. And I'm not saying that with a hit hyperbole in my voice, dog. They'd rather die than give.
Yeah, who almost signed a part-time playing?
You see how the Ben Simmons thing worked out? How like KD signed an extension, demanded a trade before the damn extension even kicked in. Them owners are over these players, and not. I don't agree or disagree personally. Like I feel like agreeing with owners gets a little bit too bootlicky for me. So like I feel like it's a case by case basis. You're never gonna catch me sided with Ben Simmons. No chance, never. And sided with ownership a little bit too bootlicky for me. So I'd rather just stay in the middle, like case by case, take it on a case by case basis, but. They're never signing, but like Kyrie in LA could work. The problem is, what are you sacrificing on your current team to get him there? Because you have to make the math work. Assuming he's going to take 35, 36, whatever $1 million, you're going to have to get rid of 2-3 guys on your current team to make that work. Now, on the flip side of that, D'Angelo Russell's so ass that replacing him might be worth whatever the fuck you got to lose. So to be fair here,
it's I don't know how you go from averaging 12 to 14 points to literally half that in the finals. That's crazy.
Yeah, some guys
clutch up, some guys shrivel up.
And Darvin's still throwing him out there for 23 minutes. And he's like, what are you doing? Are you not watching the same game, dog? Like, I don't understand.
And Jude, some guys come dressed the part. Some guys come dressed the part.
Oh wow!
Listen, man. Tatum came dressed. Somebody said Tatum came dressed for his funeral because Miami killed him.
I saw someone say that Tatum came dressed for Privé 2 years late.
For Privé. Why the all white? I know you're not even okay. Tatum has been this guy for maybe the past 2 or 3 seasons. First it was the Kobe stuff and the armband and the Lower Merion High School jersey and the texting him his phone and all that stuff. And now it's I'm gonna dress like Miami Vice and come in all white, casket sharp, and not show up. I don't know what's going on in Boston. I will say, Kev, it's the Udoka effect. Even though Udoka was a nasty, nasty bad man, what he brings coaching wise for a team he brought to the finals last season, it's lacking. And the coach of the Celtics right now currently said himself, he's feeling I can't pronounce his name. It's like what's his name? Is
Missoula.
Mm-hmm. Missoula said he's feeling the team. I believe there's definitely some coaching element. I also believe it's these guys don't know who they are. Like Tatum is supposed to be that guy. Tatum dunked on LeBron. Tatum has dropped 50 in closeouts. Tatum is supposed to be that guy. Like Tatum is supposed to be that. He doesn't, and sometimes he plays like he's that guy, and sometimes he doesn't. And just against the Sixers, and definitely against the Heat, he's played like he's not that guy. So, Kev, give me what you feel like is the psychology behind what's going on with Tatum, and what's going on in Boston in general.
There's definitely a leadership void on the Celtics in some degree. And I think it comes with with teams where you have a guy. I want to say the leader of that team is basically Marcus Smart. If you have a guy as your leader who's like the third best player on your team, at best, that stuff typically doesn't work, especially when one guy like Tatum is the best player on that team, right? And Tatum takes all the big shots, handles the ball in all the big situations, takes all the bullets when shit goes awry. Like, he's that guy. Now, when it comes to the coach, like, I think the coach is in over his fucking head. I think that much is blatantly apparent, right? With regards to the Udoka stuff, the funny thing is, I don't know how much of that we could attribute directly to him, because now their game 3 effort was pathetic. Like, if we want to say, hey, man, maybe they had a different coach, maybe if they didn't have this coach, the effort would be better. Okay, cool. The problem is the same issues that have plagued the Celtics for fucking 4 years now are still plaguing them. They still don't have a damn point guard who could get them into necessary sets when shit is going haywire or whatever. They still don't have that. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, as good as they are, they still don't like dribbling in traffic, and it looks nasty when they start dribbling in traffic. They start kicking the ball all over the place like it's soccer. It just is what it is. They have the same issues. Now, Udoka to Missoula is an obvious downgrade because, not for nothing else, the Celtics played hard for Udoka. They damn sure did not play hard yesterday. That much is clearly apparent. That game was, people were talking about, why did Missoula take out his stars in the fourth quarter? Brother, they took themselves out the game a quarter before that. The third quarter, it was like, yo, do they realize it's a playoff game? Like, their season almost, if they
were trailing by 28 points for the majority.
They eliminated themselves from the game long before Joe was like, okay, you guys don't care. All right, fine, neither do I. I'm going to pull you from the game. So, but as far as Tatum, like, I think he will eventually grow into that guy. But I also think they could use a floor general who could get him some easy shots. Because the thing with the Kobe system, guys, I swear, as much as I've slandered Kobe for my whole life, I'm not slandering him when I say this. Now, the Kobe system guys tend to really, really like difficult shots. They love making life harder for themselves. You need somebody to get him easier fucking shots. Like, you watch Jason Tatum play. The 50 he dropped against the Sixers is one of the most difficult 50s I've ever seen in my life. Every shot's contested. Every move is 2, 3, 4 drip. Like, I get it. He's good enough that he can make those. Sometimes it's going to go awry. He's going to go 6 for 25. That's how this works. And they don't have anybody to get him easier shots in easier spots. The offense is disjointed. It looks that way in big situations all the fucking time. I don't know what they need to do. All I know is you can't bring back the same coach and the same core. Somebody got to go. I don't know if it's got to be the coach, Marcus Smart, Al Horford. Somebody got to go. Something got to change.
There's definitely going to be a coaching carousel going on. So if Missoula gets fired, there's a lot of viable names to choose from.
For sure.
I was going to say, with the Celtics, it kind of feels like they don't. I mean, they have some weaknesses, but they don't feel like so stacked, like superstars, like role player guys. That's like obvious. It just feels like they don't play particularly well together. It's like a weird mesh. It's hard to explain on very casual basketball watch. So I probably had.
Let me cut you off real quick. Mm-hmm. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are kind of redundant. They live in the same areas. They do the same shit. Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason when it goes bad. Like, when it goes well, it's great. Like, they have a really good roster. But when it goes poorly, it's like you got two dudes doing the same shit, and you got nobody who could run their offense in a way that makes it organized. They don't have an organizer on the floor at all.
Right, no one to put them where to be. Like a guy like you know what's funny? I think I jokingly said it last episode before last. Said Chris Paul. Chris Paul is that point guard who comes to a team and puts guys where they need to be.
Right.
I think Chris Paul should have signed contracts like 1 to 2 years at a time, so you could just go to different teams and make them better. Because it just seems like it's a joke, but it's also serious. Like he goes to Phoenix, right? And in his peak, he makes Phoenix look like a completely different team because he knows where to put guys, right?
He dragged OKC to a 4 seed in the
right,
bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Chris Paul knows how to do the point guard shit very well. So that the contract he has in Phoenix is just ridiculous to move. But I think Chris Paul in a limited capacity playing 20, 25 minutes a game in Boston would work because he know. I mean, he'd get cooked. Don't get me wrong. He'd get fucking steam driven by fucking Brunson and Trae Young. Like, he'd get roasted. But to Kev's point, putting guys where they need to be, proper spacing, that's what you need. And there's not a lot of point guards left. Like, I mean, Chris Paul might be the last one, to be honest with you. Like, a point guard to put you where you need to be. There's no more Steve Nash. There's no more Rondo. Chris Paul is like, I don't know how long he has left in the league. Who else can play point guard that well? Trae Young is a guy who can average 10, 11 assists. I'm not too sure he's a floor general, per se. I think he really thrives on the pick-and-roll alley-oop stuff. But
I don't even think they need like an upper echelon floor general. Just a bit like, what's his face? Like, now Andre Miller's been retired for a long time, but somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like, an above-average guy who, like, all right, man, it's disorganized right now. Let's slow it down. Let's run this play, run this set, whatever y'all run, and get it organized. As opposed to now, like the Celtics go 100 miles an hour when shit goes chaotic. Jason Tatum, next thing you know, he has 3 turnovers. He dribbling off his foot. Jalen throwing up 30-footers. Like it goes all bad. When it goes well with them, it goes great. But when it goes bad,
and the thing is, they all drive on. I mean, you say Tatum and Brown are redundant. I'd argue that almost the entire Celtics team is somewhat redundant. All of them are just shooting threes. Derek White shoots threes. Malcolm Brogdon shoots threes. Grant Williams shoots threes. It's great, but the threes are a low percentage shot. If they don't work, which oftentimes they're not, it's probably not going to work. You'll see games like you saw yesterday. You'll see the series like you saw. It's like, that's what it is. That's what makes the Heat so well balanced, to be honest. And it's because Jimmy Butler just does it all. I'm going to throw my flowers on Jimmy Butler, but I see the Jimmy Butler haters got Kev, but Jimmy Butler does it all, and that's why he has that motivation. He can distribute, he can rebound, he can do it all. He scores, and he's going back to how it was in the regular season, where he doesn't have to score 40 points, and the Heat are picking it up around him, and that's a credit to Eric Spoelstra. That's a credit to the team around him. Very casual. It's also, I know.
No, and that's not a casual take. That's actually a good take. But somebody said, like, more teams should be built like Miami. Like, why is Miami successful? Because they have a bunch of guys who want to play basketball. Like, there's a bunch of guys in Boston who just they don't want to play ball.
Their roles are defined too.
Am I lying, Kay? Like, you watch the series?
No, but that goes back to what I said before. You have black and white rules. Either you follow them or you don't. And if you don't, the people with the talent that want to be there will step up and fill the void.
Right. And so
it's very simple.
Right. You guys, Gabe Vincent, Max Strauss, shit, you can say Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love. I mean, they're not G League, D League guys, but
Kyle Lowry might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry actively was like, please bring me off the bench.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often. Right. It really doesn't.
I'm bought into the system. I'm bought into what's going on
and everybody got a defined role. Like, yes, that sounds like bare minimum shit, but it's really not. Like, you got some NBA teams where, like, this guy might get 20 minutes one night, might not get no minutes the next night, might get 20. And I get it. It's a case by case. Sometimes that matchups dictate that stuff. And even the Heat are not exactly – they're not strangers to that. Like, Duncan Robinson didn't play much against – who was it, the first round? The Bucks. He didn't exactly play a lot. Against the Knicks, I mean, granted, Tyler Hero's injury was part of that. But, he came in. He's been playing 20, 25 minutes. He's been contributing. He's been taking people off the dribble, which is – astounding to me. Like, I can't believe his slow ass is taking people off the dribble, but he's been doing that. But like, everybody there, they buy in. They're all after the same shit.
The Heat culture.
The roles are defined.
It's cliche.
It is, and I hate to admit it because I don't like the Miami Heat at all.
Cliche. You have to play hard. It doesn't matter how good you are if you're not putting forth effort.
And if you can go 10, 11, 12 deep in that's the whole point. The point of the playoffs is you build this roster so you can go 12 deep. You can go as deep as you want to the bench and stuff like that. If you can't go 12 deep, it's like, what's the point? like really, what's the point of us being here? Like you're watching the Lakers and the Nuggets, and sometimes we feel like it was like, yo, we're going 9 deep. We're not going past 9 players in rotation. It's like, yo, how the hell are you planning on winning this series with only using 9 guys? Like, you have to go deeper. The Knicks were the same thing. It felt like the Knicks didn't exhaust everything to beat Miami. It's like, yeah, sure, throw in Derrick Rose, throw in Evan Fournier. I mean, these guys, especially Fournier.
Why would you put? Why would you put those guys in? Why would you put those guys in? Because they can't play defense.
Jude, when you're talking about what the Knicks needed, they needed some 3-point shooting. I don't like Fournier, but hey, it's the playoffs. This is where you make your bones.
Fournier too?
Yeah, bro, this is where you make. Hold on, Kev. IQ was hurt. Right or wrong, IQ was hurt. Quentin Grimes didn't want to shoot in Game 6. He didn't want to shoot at all.
He was petrified.
He was petrified, bro. I'm watching him like, yo, pull it. He's like,
yeah.
And then when he finally pulls it at the end, when it means nothing, he shoots an air ball. Like but what I'm saying is not the caliber of players. It's just say, how desperate are you to go on to the next level? You have to put everybody in. Yo, you want to play? Can you give me 10 minutes? Can anybody give me 10 minutes and make 1 3-pointer and make them second guess and at least leave you open? You may not be shit on defense, but if you make a 3 or something, we could probably change their mind offensively. That's what Miami does. They do that with a bunch of guys. You know what I mean?
I'm not jacking that. You could really not be shit on offense in basketball because that actually takes skill. You have to be an athlete to play defense. You do not have to be a super highly skilled defensive player to make a difference on defense. And that's what pisses me off so much about these games. Like, Miami is doing everything the Lakers need to do. And that's what's pissing me off. They're making a 3rd and 4th pass and shooting either from the corner or actually going to the paint. Mm-hmm. Right? They're actually playing defense. They're rebounding. They're boxing out. Like,
the Lakers made adjustments, though. They made adjustments.
The biggest problem with the Lakers' defense is that their transition defense is a joke. Like, that's the joke.
Look at my face.
They were getting the Nuggets scored 72 points in the first half of Game 3, and the Lakers made that competitive. Jamal Murray was going off. The Lakers have made adjustments, and this is me, not a Bron fan, not a Laker fan, defending the Lakers and LeBron. They made adjustments. Rui Hachimura on Jokic didn't work. They did work.
Making adjustments, and waking up for the second half of the game.
Fair point.
Fair point.
Those are two different things.
Fair point. No, fair point.
Those are two different things. Because it's not like they're making smart shots and they're missing them. They're missing wide open fucking jump shots and threes. That's like, yo.
Your supporting cast is
one person in the paint. You're fucking LeBron James. Run him over. What are you doing?
He's 38. He's 38.
I don't care.
This is what Skip
Run him the fuck over.
But Skip Bailey says the same thing too. It's like Skip Bailey is always upset on LeBron for not being aggressive. It's like
Listen, I would rather LeBron spend more time on the bench than LeBron be less productive while he's on the court.
But he is. He's getting these assists. He's
like I said, I would rather LeBron be on the bench than LeBron to be. He does like what?
He's 38. Someone else who's not good is going to be on the court.
He's 38. He's 38, man. Like, he can't listen.
I'm not.
Like you said,
these dudes too much space. I'm sorry. No.
I'm listen again. I'm not the biggest.
You're 38. You can't put your hand up,
bro. Like he's yo. It's because the funny thing is, everybody always asks, "Father time undefeated. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen?" Yeah. And it seems like it's happening right now. But LeBron right now is having a masterclass first half. He had an amazing game.
LeBron putting up a "it's not me, it's them" special.
Right, right now LeBron is doing his.
I'm watching the game right now. I can see it.
But it's not me.
See what I'm saying?
Can he do this? Like, LeBron's going to give his all. Right, he played 42 minutes last game. He's probably going to play like 43 minutes this game. If they lose this game, he's going to go out on his sword. if they win this game, he's not going to have enough for game 5. Like this is the catch. Look,
all this
in this game, they don't have to. They
you ain't going to sweep me on my home court. Like that's
right.
all.
Right.
I think that's what he's trying to accomplish. Like you ain't gonna sweep me. I'm not going out like this. Like they were practicing
this game. They don't have to win game 5. Everyone's already given them enough of the pat on the back. Like, look, they weren't even supposed to be here.
Oh my god.
Okay, that is true.
They fought through the play-in. They weren't even supposed to be here.
They had a 1% chance to make the playoffs.
AD was injured. Like,
yeah,
they had to go. They had to go through Steph. Come, wasn't even supposed to be here. It wasn't even supposed to be here. The Lakers have never won a game after they've been down 3-0. LeBron, like, regardless, LeBron wins this game. It's legendary either way. He did his job.
That's an incredible stat.
Yeah.
What's AD doing right now? Is he vibing out there? Did he get hurt again?
Vibes, baby.
Vibes.
4 points. Vibes.
Look, he played 43 minutes. You know he wasn't gonna come and do anything. He played 43 minutes. It's vibes. But listen, man. The Eastern Conference Finals, West Conference Finals have been great, but it has been entertaining. And there's a very entertaining few clips going around, and here's one of them. I love Jimmy Butler in the sense of when I play basketball, I always had that sense of like, yo, there's blood in the water. If we're beating somebody, if somebody feel like they're like off kilter, like we're going to attack that person, and he smells blood because he's a fucking shark. And Marcus Smart had to open his big old mouth and say, "Oh, we beat you last year." Blah 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 blah. You sound like a sore loser, bro. You sound like a big sore loser. Like, yo, you're down 3-0. Butler smells the blood in the water, and what does he say when he goes to the bench? Yo, I'm telling you guys are buns. This is the same guy who said when he beat the Sixers, he was like,
he picked Tobias Harris over
me. Tobias Harris over me? Over me? Like he knew it wasn't gonna work out in Minnesota. He knew it wasn't gonna work out in Philly. He knows the makeup of a team, and he finally has a team where he can play with some dogs. And Marcus Smart ain't no punk. Like he plays hard. I like Marcus Smart. He's a hard nosed. But yo, you got him on his heels, and he's upset, and he's being a sore loser. And it's just funny to me, man. Like they're pointing out a lot. There's something else I want to point out. Jimmy Butler is an expert troll. I love this. I love this. Down to the getting on one knee. Basically, mocking Al Horford from last season.
Oh, really?
No, bro. That was game 2.
I'm just saying it looks mad familiar.
No, right. I know somebody in this podcast who wouldn't like that.
It looks mad familiar.
I know somebody in this podcast who wouldn't like that. I'm not going to name no names.
Jude. True.
Wow.
Sorry, that's exactly.
Oh my goodness!
But, I love callbacks. I love callbacks. Like Kevin said, it was game 2, and down on 1, it's game 3. I love callbacks. I love the fact that when people are doing "you can't see me" and all that stuff, or the peace sign and all that stuff, and they get called back. Karma's a bitch, especially in sports. Mm-hmm. When Mutombo said to Jordan, "You never got me, man. You never got me." And Patrick was like, "He never dunked on you. He never put you in the highlight reel." And he's like, "I'm gonna get him." And what he do? He got him. That's a great callback. A great callback. I love callbacks. It's because this is how sports are. You're supposed, like Kay said, put up your hands, put your fists up, and fight. If you get knocked down, rub some dirt on it, get back up. Get back up. You know what I mean? I love it. I know Jude hates it. So Jude, go ahead. Tell us how cringy that was for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Butler can do that because at least he is up, and right now he's up 3-0. So if he wants to taunt him a little bit, go ahead. Marcus Smart and Grant Williams taunting him for some reason, saying, "Oh, we beat you last year." Like, this is this year. Last year was last year. This year is this year. Just focus on beating them today, not last year. You don't get points for beating them last year. This is NBA 2K. This is NBA real life. So beat them this year. Yeah.
Oh, great analogy.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I would just say, I mean, that's what it is. Jimmy Butler, I mean, he has that dog in him. I know that sounds so cliche, so cringe coming from me, but he has that dog in him. He's Michael Jordan's secret child, for all we know. So yeah, he can talk a.
Did you see the picture?
Butler is another player that if you've never seen him in person, his game does not translate the same.
No, it doesn't.
His game in person does not translate the same as it does on TV. And as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I've been able to see a lot of people play, but not Jimmy Butler and Carmelo Anthony are two athletes that have absolutely stood out to me. And I feel like, Jimmy on his way to the finals. Where's that other team at?
And hopefully he's not as tired as he was in the bubble because he was dragging that team.
My thing with the Marcus Smart, like, first of all, I can relate heavily to being a sore loser because I am a sore loser. I don't take losing well.
Who's supposed to be a good loser? I fucking lost.
I don't want to play with nobody who is a good loser. That's just me. I can't speak for nobody else. Now, obviously, we all handle our sore losing in different ways. Like, some more outward. I'm more the stew, and you can see it on my face guy. That's who I am. Marcus Smart. This is the most pathetic brand of sore losing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Because first of all, like, at least when Klay Thompson is running around throwing up 4 all the time, like, all right, you won championships, okay? Like, all right, there's a certain cachet that comes with that. I think it's lame because you're getting beat by 55 on a Tuesday. I don't give a fuck what you did last, but whatever. Okay, fine. You won 4 championships. That's a great. You go down in history for that at least, right?
Yeah.
What the Celtics won 3 more games than the Heat last year. They got to the finals and lost. Don't nobody give a fuck. Why would we care? And on top of that, they played them in the playoffs now 3 series. The bubble year. Mm-hmm. Last year and this year, they're about to lose 2 of them. So, like, you beat them last year. Congrats! Like, you want to?
And that was on a missed shot by Jimmy Butler. He took a 3 instead of 2.
Boston tried to hand them Game 7 last year. Like, actively was like, please, we don't want this. Please take it. And Miami didn't want to take it. So here we are. Absolutely pathetic sore losing. And as far as Jimmy trolling Al Horford, good, I say. And then Al Horford wanted to get mad and say, "Hey, you mad at the wrong thing, buddy. Be mad at your teammates. You mad at the wrong thing. You mad at Jimmy for knocking your goofy ass timeout celebration. Be mad at your teammates for putting you in that spot. They're the reason. They and you are the reason you're down by 72 points right now. Be mad at them."
Oh man. Final subject. Since our special guest is K, and normally we do not discuss football during the offseason unless something crazy happens. Giant expectations. Okay, you are a Giants fan. I want to hear from you. How did you feel about the offseason? How do you feel about Daniel Jones's contract? And what's going on with the whole Saquon Barkley thing? Where do you stand on that?
I have no fucking clue what the hell is going on. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I have no fucking clue what they are doing. I don't. I'm glad that we got the quarterback situation under control. I feel like our quarterback is like the Android version of the great value quarterback that we had before, but it's fine.
Wait, you call him Android version Eli Apple? That's what you?
No, Eli Manning. Yes.
Sorry, Manning.
Yes.
You call him Android version of Eli?
Wow.
Yes. And yes, I am a Giants fan. I am here to acknowledge the fact that, my Super Bowl MVP has an extra chromosome or so. That's
Yo.
What it is.
What the fuck?
I'm saying, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't known what was going on with the Giants since we got rid of Odell. So I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. I was not
don't know.
that.
I'm very upset. with everything happening over at MetLife. And I'm very confused because outside of the Giants, I think Aaron Rodgers is arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I feel very, very confused. I don't know. Like I feel like I kissed a girl and I liked it, and I don't like.
Are you mad?
I don't know.
At the Jets? Are you mad at the Jets for getting Aaron Rodgers?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You want a bandwagon? You want to jump on the bandwagon?
You can join us. Join us.
Hey, one of our best players, Ohio State boy.
Oh,
that's true.
I know.
Gary Wilson.
Just saying.
I know. Listen, I root for New York teams as long as they're not playing my favorite team. So as long as y'all not playing the Giants,
we are. We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Jets Giants this year, baby.
Jets Giants this year. We are.
I mean, obviously, yes, but not every game. The whole season. So, on that game, where my loyalties lie. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic season.
Do you think the Giants will go to the playoffs this season? Is the playoffs in the future?
I don't see why not. Honestly,
I mean, NFC East.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs to show up to OTAs, preseason camp, all of that. But I think you guys have consistently drafted enough talent that I'm looking forward to seeing what he's able to do with an offensive
I agree.
line.
I completely agree.
I think the biggest issue in Aaron Rodgers' career is the fact that obviously his injuries, and that came from not having an offensive line that was able to expand so that he could move in the pocket or protect him so that he would have time to pass the ball. Now, my question is, at this point in his career, are all the extracurricular, ayahuasca, family drama, etc. Like, I remember being an Aaron Rodgers fan and never knowing anything about his fucking personal life or how
I missed that. I missed that so
much. You know what I mean? And that's when he was playing his best. So now that it's just like mad personal, I wonder if it's. I'm interested to see if it was a Green Bay issue or if it's a like.
Oh, Rodgers.
I mean,
I will say there might be something to tell your family to kick rocks because look at what Mahomes is going through right now.
Just
saying.
I'm just saying. I don't.
Might be something.
I'm starting to look for the patterns. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to start looking for the patterns. I don't know what this means. I am excited to see that there's at least, like some type of throwing consistency. Maybe I don't know. I don't.
You just gotta wait and see. I mean,
I'm about to say, yo, this is such a mess. Like, I don't need.
You gotta wait and see. I think for both teams, both the Jets and the Giants, it's definitely a wait and see. Daniel Jones got the bag, so he has to play like it.
Good for him.
He better.
Good for him.
Got to play like it. And the Jets, we have
for black quarterbacks except for Aaron Rodgers, and that's because I would invite him to the barbecue. But I don't. We'll see about that.
You go invite him. You bringing the weed. That's it's going to be. You bringing
just
the
weed.
Whatever else you bring.
I think he wants something stronger than weed. I think he's into stronger stuff than weed.
Just keep away from the bonfire. That's all.
Aaron Rodgers look like he know how to have some fun with regards to
away
substances.
From the bonfire so that we don't have an incident like it's How High and everybody's
LeBron scored 31 in the first half. He's walking off. They have 72 points in the first half. LeBron is determined for Lakers to not get swept. But yeah, amazing. Jude, I know you have one more point. I know you have one more point, Jude.
I was going to say, at least for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, I think this is probably one of the best defenses projected, because I know what you say, Case, projected-wise. This might be one of the best defenses he's going to be playing with.
Because listen, the last time he played with a top defense, he went to the Super Bowl and he won. That's the last time he played with a top defense. So if the Jets can do what they did last year, duplicate that, which, again, Kev has said to his point, It's hard to do that back to back. I mean, the playoff teams that we love did it back to back. The Rex Ryan defense is
Rex Ryan. You hear that?
Calm down.
Rex
calm down, Jude. I was just making a point.
Why that don't get a mic view? Why? I get a mic view?
Kev, you know why you got you know why you got muted.
I'm not disputing why I got
Wait, what?
Muted.
Rex Ryan?
Wait, hold on. Now can you Jude? Say that again, Kay.
I hate Rex Ryan.
There you go. That deserved Jude. That deserved a Jude mute right there. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Terrible coach. He was a
terrible
coach.
Yo, remind me to screenshot that later when the podcast episode drops.
Did you see his face?
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take the time down on that. Give me 1 second. Go ahead. Speak.
Yo, I've never seen this.
I think the only coach I hate as much as Rex Ryan is Bill Belichick.
Oh wow, Jude. That's wow.
I love it.
Wow.
And it's personal as hell, and I don't care.
Wow.
Jude,
well, I mean,
she hates the two coaches you worship the most.
Yes.
I mean, I understand a Giants fan hating Bill Belichick, but what did Rex Ryan do? He did nothing to you guys. What did he do? He tried his best. He did his own thing in New York.
Oh God!
Wow.
Rex Ryan likes to put Band-Aids on fire hydrants and call it fucking call it a sponge. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I mean, Rex Ryan.
I like this portion of the program, man.
Rex Ryan.
I'm a big fan.
Back then were something to behold. They were just. I only wish the defense could have played like it did back then. That was just.
Did you not watch the 2022 Jets, or were you received?
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a Jets fan, so I'm not, going to be as on top of your information as I would, something I care about. Mm-hmm. But did Rex Ryan not draft Geno and Mark Sanchez?
I mean, yeah, he did.
Yes. And he has his wife tattooed on his body with Mark Sanchez's jersey on, by the way. Just throwing that in.
We don't talk about that. That part we don't talk about.
Who the fuck is we?
We don't talk about that.
I talk about that. Ain't no we here.
So you mean to tell me you had 2 high-ranking first-round picks where you could pick up a quarterback and you still ended up with a old-timey Aaron Rodgers? And again, Aaron, here. But how successful of a coach are you that when you left the franchise?
He left us in shambles. You see it. Shambles.
It wasn't just Rex Ryan. It was Mike Tannenbaum. It was often. But we're on the past. We're in the present right now. Rex is
the president.
Mike D'Antoni in the NFL. I don't know why that man keeps getting fucking job interviews. I don't.
Mike D'Antoni. I don't know.
Rex could coach a defense. I'll give him that much.
Yes, that was majestic.
It was beautiful. It leaves things to be desired, but he can't draft for shit. And he benefited very heavily off of what Mangini was doing before he came in. Mangini definitely, because Reeves and them, we're not talking about Rex. It's over because Jude always gets us here instead of the place where we want to be.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Jude's Grooves.
Kay, you are new to the panel of the Middle Initial Podcast.
No.
So we have a special segment we like to call Jude's Groove, where Jude reads the lyrics to hip-hop music. So I advise you, if you have a weak stomach and you love to laugh, to mute your mic and make it a little ridiculous. Well, if you like me, you like Kev, you're going to enjoy Jude's Groove. So, Jude, take it away.
Wow. The first line is something else. So please forgive me for this.
What? You ain't right.
Let me see you make that pussy fart. Good Lord. Make it shake like a salt shaker. Too hard. Get it up till you can't, huh? No more. See, I love when you hoes take it to the floor. Baby bounce, biggie bounce, huh? It's on you. Shawty, you can twerk in your skirt if you want to. See, we came to creepy crunk for you all night. For the dub in the club, show me what I like. Freak bitches make money in the club. Them hoes like to take it off like a dog. You can't come with nothing less than a dub, or she looking at your ass like a scrub. Them hoes like it when the nigga shows love, and she'll show you what she's really made of. I guarantee your ass won't get enough. Tell her, pop that shit, drop that shit. What? Okay. So yeah, I mean, the first line is just okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Everybody in the club know what's up. Whistle while you twerk. We scared her off. Go ahead and start. Make that pussy fart. Waiting while you twerk. Whistle while you twerk. Twerk something. Everybody in the club knows what's up. Whistle while you twerk. Go ahead and start. Make that pussy fart. Whistle while you twerk. Twerk something. I have to sigh because it's like, well, hey, now we scared her away because no one wants to hear a song about making making a pussy fart.
It's a shame Kay's camera went out.
God.
Yo,
I think her battery might have died or something like that. She's still here. I don't know.
She's gone.
Her computer definitely died. No, she just DM'd me. Kay did not run. Listen, man. Kay is a grown woman. She's
I thought her computer might have chipped out. I know she don't run. I thought her computer might have chipped out.
My bad. My laptop died.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Kay's not gonna die.
No, actually, I really enjoyed you have like cadence of a nursery rhyme. That was interesting.
Dr. Seuss.
You feel me? You walk next.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised by. I mean, I just had a question about the first line. Like, that's how you open your lyrics. Like, you just want to see her. I mean,
Dude,
you could just say queen. Queen.
Educate her real quick, Kay, please.
Okay.
This is how some people start off DMs. Okay. I'm gonna be real with you.
I mean,
listen, Kay, we have to talk off air when Susan shows. If we done and we talk off air, we're gonna give Jude a little lesson when we get off this show because this is about to go left.
I mean, this isn't even the worst song I've read, but that first line. I mean, I've read worse songs that just made me question a lot of things. But
we had a Shake Your Ass by Mystical last week.
Yo, when he did Shake Your Ass by Mystical, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was just like, yeah. It's like the opening of this one is just like, that's how you can open up with. I mean, just let me make that pussy fart. Not even just like wet, but just fart. Not let me make that pussy fart. Okay, fine, that's cute, that's fine, whatever. But let me make that pussy fart. Like when people like answer to this song, where they're like, "Yeah, this shit's great. Yeah, this is great. Like this is just like great twerking music or something." Like someone the club song, like, "Yeah, let me make that pussy fart," and everyone's like, "Yeah, whoa, pussy's farting." Like, what's going on?
God!
I'm sorry, I had to be explicit, but I was just wondering.
Follow us on TikTok, middle underscore initial pod on TikTok. Follow Kevin Lewis at LEW24. Follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at MIPod69K. Do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Final thoughts. LeBron wins one more ring, and the conversation about who the greatest of all time is becomes very even. LeBron wins 6, and the conversation's done.
Oh,
damn. Okay. I don't think either is happening, but that's definitely.
I'm just setting the terms.
If he comes back from 3-0,
like I said, black and white, right?
That's that black and white.
if he comes back from 3-0, I mean, that could be a
Jude,
conversation.
we're not
That's
listening.
never happened before. If it happens,
It's never
now,
happened. If it happens now, then God bless. It's not happening. It's a wrap. Follow K at I am the K Vega on Twitter.
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch.
You're on Twitch? I know on Twitch. I need to sub. On Twitch. What game? Before we go, what games are you streaming on Twitch?
I started playing Spyro and Crash Bandicoot again.
Nice.
So I'm bringing back the old stuff. I'm trying to learn how to play 2K. It's difficult.
I mean, you don't have to waste your time. I mean, it's great. It's for content. Like you don't have to waste your time. If you're gonna play, if you find 2K16,
I like Madden.
Madden. Yeah.
Jude is the worst Madden player on this
ever. Jude's the worst Madden player ever.
Wow.
Ever.
You actually played against him, Case?
Huh?
You've actually played him?
Yeah, I told you I played him. Oh. He plays super conservative.
What a surprise!
Super conservative. He runs the ball. He runs the ball on 3rd and 2.
No wonder he wants to kiss Rex Ryan's feet.
Wow. Okay. I'm done. We're done.
Bye for now. We'll see you guys.